Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Are you guys ready for another reading adventure? Happy Tuesday. Here in my pajamas. Ready. Hi, is that Aubrey? Nolan, hi. Welcome, welcome. Somebody told me I always say hey, hey, so I guess I won't say hey, hey, I'll say happy Tuesday. Welcome, welcome. This is Yearby's Reading Adventures. I'm excited. I know you guys are wondering what book I'm going to be doing tonight, but it's still a secret. Ian, hi. Huey, hi, guys. My great ones are here. Hi, Bryson. Hi, guys. Are you ready? What book do you think I'm going to read? What if I tell you that it is a book that I read to you before? I would love to see your predictions while we wait for other people to come in. It is a book that I read to you before. So I would love to see. What do you guys think? Liv, Lil, Lily, hi, guys. You guys are here on time. Thank you. Let me see some predictions. What book do you guys think it's going to be? Hi, Carson. What do you think? What do you think? Waiting to see your comments. And as always, I'll wait maybe another 2 minutes for others to join in. I know some students have told me that they have to watch it a little bit later. Waiting for your predictions. Oh, it's not moving. I'm not seeing it. Oh, I can't. I see Cat in the Hat. Bear loses a tooth. Sammy the Seal. Horton, the Talking Eggs. Thank you, Mr. Falker. Okay, okay. We'll see which one it's going to be. There we go. My screen wasn't working right, but now I'm ready. Gonna wait another minute and then I'll go ahead and get started. Any more predictions? Oh, a couple of people said thank you, Mr. Falker. No data. How? Chris. Hi, Chris. Aya. Hi, Aya. Jan Brett. Okay, well, Jan Brett did send me a couple of emails. Could be a Jan Brett book. Any more predictions? My comments are not going up. Horton, here's a who. Someone said yay. Well, I want to thank you guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. As I always say, I want this to be interactive, and I think you guys have done a good job with that. Continue to send your comments if you have questions, if you make connections, if you have questions. There is a little bit of a delay, so I won't be able to answer your question until later, but still go ahead and ask the questions. So last week we read Rufus Goes to School. And in here, we saw how determined Rufus was. He wanted to go to school. And he went the first time, and he said, oh, I'm going to school. I need my backpack. The principal said, no. Then he paid attention. He looked at what everyone else had. And he said, oh, I need a lunchbox. And he went back to the principal a second time. And the principal said, no, pigs are not allowed. And then he observed the kids, and he looked, and he said, oh, I know. I need a blanket. And the third time he went, the principal said, no. So he went back and went back to the principal's office and he gave an explanation. He said, okay, well, I'm not going to do this and I'm not going to do that. And the principal said, no. And so finally, he pulled out a book. And when he pulled out the book, the principal finally took him to the class and he got what he wanted. So with determination, we can see you can get what you want. Just like Les Brown says, make know your vitamin. If that's what you really want and you know it's going to benefit you, go after it and make sure you get it. Last week, I modeled using the pictures first. That's always a great comprehension skill, to use the pictures if you're reading a book with pictures, because the pictures will give you so much information. If you're not reading a book with pictures, and even if you are reading a book, you need to visualize. And when you visualize, you use your 5 senses to help you to figure out what is happening in the book, how the character feels in the book. For instance, right now, I want you guys to visualize. I would like for you to visualize that you're sitting at home, like I think most of you are right now, or maybe at your grandmother's house, and you're eating dinner. And then all of a sudden you hear, what do you visualize? What do you see in your head? I see someone says that they're eating bacon right now. What do you see in your head? I see a fire engine or a ladder truck, and I visualize them going really, really, really fast and the other cars and trucks moving out of their way. Now, of course, I can't really taste anything with that, but when you visualize, you can also visualize the emotions that you might have. You might feel sorry for whoever the emergency personnel is going to. You might wonder, oh my gosh, what's going on? Is someone sick? Is someone hurt? Adults, you might be happy that you're not out there, or that you're happy and safe that you're home. So whenever you're reading, you want to visualize, you want to make yourself a part of the story, because that's going to help you to understand it. I also model making connections. If I were reading a book and the book was about a subway in New York, because I grew up in Chicago, I can make a connection to when I lived in Chicago and I had to take the subway. Or if I were reading a book about a person who is making up things in their mind, they're imagining that they're seeing this and they're imagining and they're seeing that. What kind of connection can I make, my great ones? Well, a book that I recently read to you about someone who was making up, started with something small and then added and changed and added and changed and added and changed until it became this great, 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 great big imaginative thing in his head. What book was that? It was And to Think That I Saw It on Mulberry Street. So when you're reading, you're constantly relating it to yourself, because that's going to help you to understand what you're reading. You don't want to just read and just rush through it, because then when you're finished, you're going to be like, what did I read? Well, I don't know. And then you just wasted your time. So tonight, we are going to talk about problems and solutions. So when you have a problem in the book, that means the character wants something. And as they try to get whatever it is that they want, something else happens. And then they're going to have to try to get through whatever happens to get to what they want. So we could say somebody wanted something, but so then what? And the book that I'm going to read, and I don't think that any of you guys said it. I'm looking back at a few more of the comments. Yes, Mulberry Street. Yep, you guys got it. You were right. The book I'm going to read. You guys ready? Actually, and I don't know if you parents let the kids see it in the post that I put up earlier today, there was a clue as to the book that I was going to read. And stop. So immediately, as I look at this, I hear, because that's what I know about roosters. I know that roosters are the ones that make the loud noises. Looking at this right here, I know that the sun is coming up, because that's when roosters usually make that sound. I can tell that this is a rooster and not just one of the chickens, because most of the time with animals, the bird that's the prettiest is the male. A connection that I can make is a peacock. The peacock with the really, 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 really big, pretty tail, that's the male. Female peacocks are usually white, and they don't have that beautiful tail. So we're going to be reading Bob. And again, we're going to visualize. If you can make connections while I'm reading this, go ahead and add those connections. If you have visualizations that I don't share, go ahead and share those visualizations. And for my great ones, we can talk about it tomorrow. So we have Bob by Tracey, Campbell, Pearson. Well, I see a cat there. I see Bob up there on the top of the chicken coop. And I see the chickens. Just in case you guys tried to cheat and look at the words first, I covered them up. So again, you start by looking at the pictures. And looking at this, I would think that Bob is saying, because that's what roosters do. And I see the cat, and I see the chickens, and they're probably going, let's see if I'm right. Bob, a rooster, lived with a bunch of chickens. The chickens clucked all day long. And so did Bob. That's kind of a problem right there. Is he supposed to be clucking? I wonder why. So I think here, it looks like Bob and the cat are having a conversation. Looks like Bob might be listening to the cat. One day, Henrietta, oh, this must be Henrietta, told Bob the truth. Sorry, this mirrored look. Bob, she said, you are not a chicken. You are a rooster. You need to stop clucking and learn how to crow so you can wake the girls up every morning. That's what roosters do. Well, Bob seems pretty interested. Can you guys think of maybe another word that can describe Bob? Because he's listening. Will you teach me? Asked Bob. Oh, he wants to learn something. I think he's curious. And I also think he's eager to learn. No, said Henrietta. I am a cat. Cats don't crow. I can only teach you to meow, meow, meow. Looks like Bob is leaving everybody. And they look pretty surprised that he's going. Well, let me see. Where is he going? Maybe he's going to learn how to be a rooster. So we've come to our problem. Bob has been clucking like all the chickens, and he needs to learn how to be a rooster. So we have somebody, Bob, wanted to learn how to crow. Let's find out what happens. So Bob learned how to meow. Then he went off in search of a rooster. Meow, meow. I'm guessing Bob has never seen a rooster. Do you think he knows what a rooster really looks like? Trying to see some of your comments. Look at what he finds. Looks like Bob is happy. He's making some kind of sound here. Bob walked and walked until he met a dog. He learned how to woof and wag, but a dog is not a rooster. So he continued down the road. So he's going, meow, meow, ruff, 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 ruff. And because the dog has a tail, Bob has a tail. I guess he's wagging his tail. Somebody, Bob, wanted to learn how to crow like a rooster. But so far, he hasn't found anyone to teach him. He's going on down the road. What is Bob doing all the way up there? Why is he up there? Oh, maybe it's because frogs jump. So he's learning how to jump like a frog. And what sound is he going to end up making? Bob walked and walked. He's doing a lot of walking here. Hard work. Until he found a pond full of frogs. He learned how to ribbit and hop. But frog is not a rooster. So Bob continued down the road. Are you guys making the sounds? Woof, woof. Ribbit, ribbit. I guess Bob is pretty determined. I can make a text-to-text connection. Bob is determined to learn how to crow, just like Rufus was determined to go to school. What are you determined to do? I would love to see that in the comments. What's something that you're determined to do? And you might have to go and get no and no and no and no, like Rufus did. Or you might have to keep going to different people. Will you help me? Oh, I don't know how. Will you help me? I don't know how. Will you help me? But each time he's learning something new. Oh boy. I see a bunch of different cows. And just like we all have different voices, cows have different voices too. So I hear and I visualize, ooh. I hear a bunch of different ones. I also see flies. Since there are quite a few of them, I hear, looks like Bob is learning something else. He's still trying. Bob walked and walked until he came to a field of cows. He learned how to moo and chew his cud, except he didn't have one. Chew his cud. What is that? Well, one thing that I know is that a cow is a type of animal that has more than one stomach, and they'll chew up something really quick and swallow it down. Then they bring it back up and chew it a little bit more. We can't do that. Neither can Bob. He decided to eat bugs instead. Oh, he's about to eat some bugs there. Bob is still working really hard. First he asked the cat. Wasn't able to learn what he needed to learn. And then he asked the dog. Then he asked the frogs. And now he's asked the cow. He's learned lots of things, but he has not learned what he needs to learn. Oh, look. He's been gone a long time. He left early in the morning when the sun was rising at dawn. And in this page, the sun is going down at dusk and the moon is up. But a cow is not a rooster, so Bob continued down the road with the belly full of bugs. Meow, meow. Woof, woof. Rat, rabbit. Yum, yum, bugs. I guess he likes them. How does Bob feel? Look at this. How does he feel? He's happy. He's just going on. He doesn't know where he is. He's still happy. What new sounds do you visualize as he's going into the nighttime? He walked right out of the day and into the night, searching for a rooster to teach him how to crow. Bob's not giving up. Uh-oh, he changed. He went from feeling happy, not having any cares. This. How does he feel? out at night, alone, probably hearing some strange sounds. Because at nighttime, he would normally be in the chicken coop. Walking through the darkness, Bob got scared. He was sure he was being followed. Bob was quiet. Oh, I thought I covered this page. What's up there? Oh, Bob stayed out there all night. There's the sun coming up again. What sounds? You will be a better singer. Believe in yourself. Then a stranger called out, "Ooh, ooh, ooh." Not wanting to be rude, Bob whispered, "Bob, Bob, Bob." And again the stranger asked, "Ooh, ooh, ooh." And again Bob whispered, "Bob, Bob, Bob." And so it went all night long, over and over again. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Bob, Bob, Bob. Until first morning light, when Bob heard, what is he hear? It's in the morning. He's like, oh my gosh, he's shocked. In the middle of the road was a bird who looked a lot like Bob. His name was Fred, and he taught Bob how to crow. Well, I can tell from this that after Bob learned how to crow, he went back home. He went out, his mission, I'm going to learn how to crow. And even though he had to walk all day and ask this animal and this animal and this animal and stay out there all night without going to sleep, he finally got what he wanted. So now he's back in the coop with Henrietta and the girls. But look, he's not sleeping like they are. I wonder why. I don't know if he hears something. I don't know if he's excited and happy. But look what's happening. Danger. It was dark by the time Bob walked all the way back home. So how long has he been gone? Started in the morning. Then at nighttime, he was listening to whoo, whoo, and answering Bob, Bob. And he walked from the morning when he met Fred early in the morning, and it's night. How long has he been gone? And he spent most of his time walking. It was dark by the time Bob walked all the way home. He settled in for the night, being careful not to wake the girls or Henrietta. Oh, he just got home. That's why he's awake. Oh no! What happened? Oh, if I move my hand, you can see. Everybody's afraid, except, does Bob look afraid? I think we're finding another problem. The first problem, somebody, Bob, wanted to learn how to crow, but there was no one that could teach him. So he kept going and asking people to teach him to crow. Finally, he met Fred, who taught him how to crow. I've got another problem. Somebody, I guess it would be maybe the fox, could be Bob. Fox wants to eat them. What's gonna happen? Bob was too excited to sleep, so he was wide awake when the fox came. He let out a big, you do it. But it didn't scare the fox. Why wouldn't that scare the fox? I guess because the fox wants to eat them. Then Bob called out. Do you guys remember? Meow, meow. Woof, woof, woof. Rabbit, rabbit, rabbit. Oh, yum, yum, fox. The fox, terrified and amazed by all the animals in the coop, especially the one that was hungry for a fox, ran home, never to return. So I guess Bob going out, and even though when he first tried to learn how to crow, he learned this, and also how to wag, and the ribbit, and the hop, or how to move. And he was saying yum yum bugs, but he ended up saying yum yum fox. All of those things that he learned on his journey helped him out in the time of need. What's he saying now? I see the sun. They look like they're just waking up and everyone's happy. Did you guys tell me? The sound. And from then on, every morning, Bob woke up the girls and Henrietta with or if he felt like it, you do it. And that's the end. So this story, just like Rufus Goes to School, both show that with determination, you can get what you want. So far I've been singing a song, and there's a song, adults, you might know it. It's from Aaliyah. If at first you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again. You can dust it off and try again, again. And that's what they both did. And they were able to get exactly what they wanted. Rufus was able to go to school, even though the other pigs didn't want to do it. He was able to go to school. And Bob was able to learn how to crow. And the different things that he learned along the way was able to save him and his friends from the fox. So I would like to thank you guys for joining me. Thank you so much. I'm going to go back and read your comments. So my great ones, I'll know those of you who've answered at least 3 of those questions. I'll see it tonight, and I will either love it or respond to it. If you would like to write it down and bring it in to me tomorrow, that will be great as well. And I'm going to do the same thing that I always do. Just like I said, I have my great ones to do it every morning. And it helps me even when they walk in and they give me a hug, and it lets me gauge how they're doing. A couple of them can probably tell you stories when I was able to tell that they weren't feeling too great, and we were able to get that squashed and handled immediately. So I want everyone to think of at least one thing that you are happy about. And I want you to lock it in your head. Like I say, when my students are having a hard time learning something, and when they finally get it, I grab their head and I say, lock it in your head. So lock that happy thing in your head. If you would like to, you can go ahead and write it down. You can write it on here, or you can write it in a journal on a piece of paper. Then I want you to think of at least one thing that you did that you're proud of, not something that someone else did. One thing that you did, so that you can even look at yourself and you can say, I am proud of myself for. And I want you to take that and lock that in your head. So you've got the thing that you're happy about, and you've got the thing that you're proud of. If you got it locked in your head, I want you to inhale. I want you to exhale and smile. You're beautiful. Thank you. I'll see you next Tuesday.